Guruji will start in 30 seconds, the live stream. Guruji, you can start.
Yeah. Shrutismritipuranam alayam karunalayam namami bhagavatpada Sankaram lokashankaram sadashivasamarambham Sankaracharya madhyamam asmadacharya paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Arunam Karunatarangitaakshim Dhritapasham Pushpabanachapam Animadibhiravritam Mayukhaihi Ahamityeva Vibhavaye Bhavanim. With Lalitha Sahasranama, we are on shloka number 130 right now.
इच्छा शक्ति ज्ञान शक्ति क्रिया शक्ति स्वरूपिणी सर्वाधारा सुप्रतिष्ठा सदसद्रूपधारिणी इच्छा शक्ति ज्ञान शक्ति क्रिया शक्ति स्वरूपिणी सर्वाधारा सुप्रतिष्ठा सदसद्रूपधारिणी
Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Swarupini is one name. Devi is of the form of three Shaktis, Iksha, Jnana and Kriya. Now, these Shaktis are responsible for everything that we see around us in this universe, including creation, sustenance and destruction. When the time comes, Devi entertains that Iksha Shakti for create. When the time comes, Devi entertains that Iksha Shakti to destroy, and so on. And each of the even minutest actions which we see around us in the universe are propped by these three Shaktis. In fact, in our own life, if we have to do something, any action, before that, we have a desire to do that action. Otherwise, we will not do that action. That is Iksha Shakti. Then we have to know how to do that. If we have to go to a place, we have to desire to go to that place, and we should know how to go to that place. What is the best route, what is the best mode of transport, etc. That is Jnana. And actually traveling to that place and reaching the destination is Kriya. So all actions, however small, however big they may be, are run by these three Shaktis. They are the basic Shaktis of running of the universe and running of the individual life also, of all the divas. So that is why they have been put together, Iksha, Jnana and Kriya Shakti Swarupini. Now, in Shakta literature, there is a further description of these three Shaktis with reference to Devi's own form. It says, Iksha Shakti represents the head, the Shiras. Jnana Shakti represents the body. And Kriya Shakti represents the feet. Iksha Shira Pradeshascha Jnana Chetas Adhogata Kriya Padagata Shasya Evam Shaktirayam Vapuhu. This is what it says. So this is a way of saying that these three Shaktis are part of Devi's form, Devi's equipment. Next is Sarvadhara. That means the foundation of everything. There is nothing which is not connected with Devi, connected with Paramatma. This we have been seeing frequently in various forms. That means nothing happens without the will of Paramatma, that is Ichha Shakti. And nothing happens without his jnana, nothing happens without his kriya. So if we know that, if we realize that, a lot of our worries would have gone. That is why it says Sarvadhara. Everything that we see around us, everything that happens has its foundation in Devi. There is another meaning which is derived from this meaning. That is Sarva Adhara. That means whatever we think as Adhara in our day-to-day life, whatever we think is the foundation of any particular material or action is also Devi only. So all Adharas, all supports put together are also Devi's own forms. Sarvadhara. Supratishtha. Pratishtha is firmly being seated. That is Pratishtha. Being seated firmly. What we call as Adhisthana in the case of sannyasis, actually it's the same. Pratishtha and Adhisthana are the same. Adhisthana also means the same. Adhisthana. So, a proper place where you are firmly seated, that is called Adhisthana, that is called Pratishtha. Supratishtha, that means in this universe, which is her own creation, she is seated in a very auspicious, beautiful way. Su, Shobhana. And she is lending her grace, lending her beauty to everything in this universe. All nature is so beautiful. Only we are making it ugly by our creation. If you look at the raw nature as it is, whether it is a mountain, whether it is a river, whether it is a tree, whether it is a forest, everything is so beautiful. That is Supratishtha. Because Devi's Pratishtha is there, Devi's presence is there, firm presence in every one of these aspects of creation. Of course, there is another reference to Supratishtha, which is one of the chandas like Gayatri, Anushtup, etc. It is one of the chandas. So all chandas are forms of Devi, so this is mentioned in that context. Tadasad Rupadharini, Tat Asat Rupadharini. Devi is having basically, her forms can be basically divided into two groups. One is group of Sati, another is group of Asati. What is Sati? Sati is Parabrahma. Anything which is not determined by time and space, anything which is eternal is Sati. That is the definition of Sati. So that is Parabrahman, that is Devi. So who is eternally present, who is present at all places, that is Sati. Asat is opposite of that. That means an object whose presence is not eternal, whose presence is temporary, like we jivas, and whose presence is restricted to a place, not all pervading, like Devi is. Now that is Asat, the opposite of Sat. That is this creation. All creation comes under Asat, all creation, all Brahmandas. And only Devi, only Parabrahma Swarupam comes under Sat. But both are her forms. That is the important meaning here. Sat, Asat, Rupadharini. It is not as if she is only Sad Rupadharini. She is also Asad Rupadharini. She is also in the form of this creation. Because Veda says repeatedly that having created the Brahmandas, the universe, Devi, Parabrahma, enters into that Pravishati, enters and gives her presence. Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Swarupini, Sarvadhara, Supratishtha, Saprasadrupadharini. We go to the next.
अष्टमूर्तिरजाजेत्री लोकयात्रा विधायिनी एकाकिनी भूमरूप निर्द्वैता द्वैतवर्जिता अन्नदा वसुधा वृद्धा ब्रह्मात्मैक्यस्वरूपिणी प्रगति ब्राह्मणी ब्राह्मी ब्रह्मानंदा बलिप्रिया.
Ashtamurti, Devi who is in 8 forms. See, everything is Devi, we have seen before, but in order to build up on the stotra, in order to build up on our faith, it keeps on narrating various aspects of the same thing. So Ashtamurti, the 8 forms of Devi. Now, if you remember, Shiva is known as Ashtamurti. One of his names is Ashtamurti. In the famous Dakshinamurti Stotram, the Ashtamurtis are defined. Bhurambhastanalo nilombaramaharanatho himam shappuman ityabhati charachara mahatmakavidam ashtayvayasya murtyashtakam. This is Yasyaiva murtyashtakam. These are the 8 forms. That is the 5 elements, Panchabhutas, plus Surya and Chandra, that is 7. Then the 8th is the Jiva, the Yajamana, the one who performs the puja. So, in the context of our puja, in the context of the individual's action, he has to recognize that there are 8 forms around him, including himself, of Shiva. So, when Ashtamurti is connected with Shiva, it is also connected with Devi, because Shiva is also a creation of Devi. Ashtamurti. In addition to that, there are other 8 forms in Puranas. One of the references is like this: Lakshmir Medhadhara Pushtihi, Gauri Pushtihi, Prabhadhritihi. These are the 8 forms. Lakshmi, Medha. Dhara means the bhumi, the earth. Pushtihi, Gauri, Tushtihi, contentment. Prabha, brilliance. Dhriti, courage, forbearance. Etadhippahi tanudhihi ashtadhirmam saraswati. So, these are etadhi, ashtabhihi, tanubhihi. These are your 8 forms. Please protect me. That is how this prayer goes. Ashtamurti. Aja Jaitri. Aja means here avidya, ajnana. Ignorance. Not knowing the truth. Being guided by false maya, false delusion. That is all the broad head of avidya, aja. Aja Jaitri, one who has conquered. Jaitri means one who has conquered. The Devi who has conquered avidya. Now, it's unnecessary to say that she has conquered avidya. It is necessary to say that because avidya is also there in the universe. We have seen Satya Asatya Rupadharini. So, whatever is there in the universe is all her form. Avidya is also her form. Animals are also her form. The most violent, the most indolent creatures are also her forms. So, avidya is also her form. But it doesn't mean that she encourages avidya. So, she has conquered avidya. She does not encourage avidya, but avidya is there in all of us. But we have to get out of it with her grace because she has herself conquered. So, we can also conquer with her grace. Aja Jayatri, Lokayatra Vidhayini, one who conducts Vidhayini, one who conducts the Lokayatra, the travel, the forward movement of the universe. Because without movement, universe cannot be static. Universe is dynamic. The very basic characteristic of universe is it's dynamic, isn't it? If it is not dynamic, there will be no sunrise, there will be no sunset, there will be no life, there will be nothing. All life is based on dynamic. So that dynamics is ensured by whom? That is Lokayatra Vidhayini. Not only the running of the various planets, the positioning of the various planets, the travel of the various planets. What is happening inside each of the planets? The various organisms, how they grow, Now, we all get our food. We all get our place to stay. We all get our clothing. How? That is Lokayatra Vidhayini. Because she sustains all of us. She provides the basic requirement. That is actually Lokayatra Vidhayini. Ekakini. That means we have seen before Kevala. It is same meaning. That means she is all alone. She is only one. Don't think that there are many. We may see many forms of Devi. We may see many forms of Seva, Vishnu, Brahma, etc., etc. Lakshmi, Gauri, Saraswati. We may see many forms, but all are forms of one and only entity, and that is Devi, Ekakini. She is all alone. She is the one who remains after eliminating everything else as her own creation. In fact, in Devi Mahatmyam, she says to Shumbha in her final encounter with him, very beautiful sloka which conveys this. Ekaivaham jagatyatra dvitiya mama para. Ekaivaham jagatyatra. I am the only one in this universe. Dvitiya mama apara. Where is the second? There is no second. Because he was saying you have got so many Devis assisting you. Now I am alone. You fight with me alone. That is what he was saying. So he is ridiculing that concept. She is ridiculing that concept. Pashyayita dushtamayeva vishanti madvibhudayaha. They are all my forms, my vibhutis. And they are entering into me. Pashya, please see. So that shows that. In Devi Purana also it's similarly mentioned. Ekaiva lokan grasati, ekaiva sthapayatyapi, ekaiva sujate vishwam, tasmat ekakini mata. Because she creates the universe by herself, all alone. She sustains by herself, all alone. She destroys by herself, all alone. So she is ekakini. This is what Devi Purana. Bhumarupa. Bhumarupa means Parabrahma Swarupini. It means the same. Bhuma is Parabrahma. So why it is called Bhuma? Bhuma means something very large, unimaginably huge. In fact, the word Brahman also means the same. Guru also means the same. Very large. Something extraordinarily large is Guru. Something extraordinarily large is Brahman. Something extraordinarily large is Bhuma. Same way. In fact, this Bhuma is mentioned very clearly in Chandogya Upanishad as one of the Vidyas, one of the methods of reaching Devi. Many methods are taught there. Dahara Vidya we saw. Like that, there are many Vidyas in Chandogya Upanishad. One of them is Bhuma Vidya. There he says clearly, the teacher, that is Sanat Kumara, he is teaching Narada. He says, Yovai Bhuma Tat Sukham, Nalpe Sukhamasti, Yovai Bhuma Tat Sukham. Something which is very large, that is Parabrahman. That is Sukham, that alone is happiness. Nalpe Sukhamasti, in Alpa, in small, in restricted presence, in Jiva, no Sukhamasti, there is no Sukham. So, that is Bhumarupa. Nirdvaita, Dvaita Varjita. Both mean more or less the same. The commentator has given a beautiful, a nice way of differentiating the two. Nirdvaita means something which we saw earlier, Ekakini, same. There is no second. Free from second. Nirdvaita. Free from the concept of second. Dvaita is a concept of second. Advaita is concept of only one. Concept of freedom from the concept of two, that is Advaita. So Dvaita is concept of two. So Nirdvaita also means the same. That is freedom from the concept of two. That means concept of only one. Now what is Dvaita Varjita? It is also the same. Freedom from the concept of two. But the commentator says the difference is Nirdvaita refers to the concept of only one at a particular point of time, whereas Dvaita Varjita means at all points of time. That means eternally alone, eternally singular. There was never a time, there will be never a time when there will be two. So that is emphasized, it's an emphasis. Dvaita Varjita. Annada, one who is giving us food. That just now we were mentioning that. Food is a basic requirement for all jivas. And who is providing us food? Devi is providing us food. Annada, all basic requirements are Anna in a general sense covers all requirements. Though the direct meaning is food, it covers all the requirements of all the jivas are covered by her or provided by her. Vasudha. Vasudha means one who gives Vasu. Vasu means wealth. One who gives wealth. Now, mere Anna is not enough for sustaining the jivas, particularly human beings. We need many other things. All those many other things are covered under the term of Vasu. Vasu means wealth. Vriddha means old woman. What is this old woman? Old woman means she is the oldest in the sense she has always been there, and all the others owe their origin to a particular point in time. All of them, including Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, originate at a particular point of time decided by Devi. Other times they are all hidden inside Devi, concealed inside Devi. Like jivas are also concealed after Pralayam. So similarly, there is a time of origin, there is a time of dissolution for everyone, including the Devas. But Devi had never a time of origin, never a time of dissolution. So she is the oldest. In that sense, she is Vriddha. It's one way of saying that she has no time concept, beyond time. Another way of saying it, a poetic way of saying, we should take it like that, not in the literal sense of old woman. Brahmatmaikya Swarupini. Brahman, Atma, Aikya, Swarupini. Because we are always in Dvaita state, though we just now saw Nirdvaita, that is beyond us, beyond normal jiva. So we are always in a state of Dvaita. So when we are in a state of Dvaita, we consider ourselves as jivas, and there is some Param Brahman whom we have to attain. This is our normal way of thinking. Though Shastra clearly say there's nothing like attainment, it is already there. That is yourself. You yourself are that Param Brahman. There's nothing like attaining. Attaining is something which is not with you, it is not present in you. It is always present, ever present. So what is the question of attaining? Though Shastra repeatedly says, but we cannot understand that. We cannot recognize that, perceive that. So as far as we are concerned, there is a Brahman and there is a Atma. But they are one and the same. Brahma, Atma, Aikya. Ekam. There is only one which is called Brahman and it's also called Atma. So there is no difference. And this fact that there is no difference is established by Devi. When she is formless, she is Brahman, but she is having a form for blessing us. She has taken so many forms. So all those forms are corresponding to our taking forms. Jiva was taking bodies. Similar to that, she is also taking a form and she is blessing us in that form. But is she different? We are different. We feel we are different. But she doesn't, she never feels that because she is always in the state of Nirdvaita. So for her it is always Aikya Swarupini, Brahma, Atma, Aikya Swarupini. So whenever we see the form of Devi, we should remember this. The highest point of Vedanta we should remember, so that we will also try for that highest state. Now, another very interesting interpretation commentator Bhaskara gives, that is, now she is the one who has divided herself into two, Shiva and Shakti. Now, if you consider Brahma as Shiva and Shakti as Devi, because male and female, that is a normal understanding. Now, this Aikya, Shiva Shakti Aikya, is represented by a mantra called Hamsa Mantra, which is famous in Shastra literature as well as in other literature. Hamsa Mantra. That Hamsa Mantra refers to this Aikya, this unity. What is this? Why it is a state unity? Because it says Ham refers to Aham and Saha refers to the other one. Saha means what? That. Aham, myself, and that. I am that. Aham Brahmasmi. Same thing. Hamsa mantra. Now, this Sa refers to Parameshwara and Aham refers to Jivatma, which is Devi. If you consider it, they're all concepts. So if you consider like that, they are one and the same. Hamsa Soham, Soham Hamsaha. That is the mantra. So if you, there are people who keep on repeating this mantra so that they get that idea of unity. So in fact, in Lalitha Trishati, there is a name Hamsa Mantrartha Rupini. So this is same as that Brahmatmaike Sarupini. Brihati. Brihati means something very huge. Just now we saw huge. Bhumarupa. It's the same meaning. Mahado Mahiyan, Veda says. Anoraniyan, Mahado Mahiyan. Smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. So this is that. And apart from that, like we saw earlier, one of the chandas, famous chandas, is like Gayatri, Brihati, Anushtupu, Srushtupu, Brihati. It goes like that. Brahmani. Brahmani means a female Brahmana. That means if you consider Shiva as Brahmana, she is the consort of Shiva. What is Brahmana? Brahmana is one who has attuned himself to Brahman. That is the definition of Brahmana. One who has attuned himself to Brahman. That means who does not attune himself to anything other than Brahman, like Jivatva, like body, etc., etc. One who has at least made an effort to reach the highest level is Brahmana. Otherwise, there's no meaning for the word Brahmana because it's connected with Brahman. And in fact, all these devatas who are known as Brahmanya, Subramanya, or Namo Brahmanya Devaya, they are all known as Brahmanya because they are connected with Brahma because they are happy to encourage Devas to advance on that path. That is why they are known as Brahmanya Devas. So, if you consider Paramashiva, Shiva as Brahmana, she is the consort of the Shiva. That is why she is known as Brahmani. And another thing is that Shiva is known as the Deva of Brahmana. Vishnu is known as the Deva of Kshatriya. This is mentioned in Veda itself. He is quoting from many Puranas, the commentator, he says, Brahmana Bhagavan Shambho, Brahmananam hi Daivatam, Visheshat Brahmana Rudram, Ishanam Sharanam Braja. Even common normal parlance, Shiva is associated with being the Deva for Brahmanas. So she is Brahmani in that sense. Brahmi. Here it is connected with Brahma, not Brahman, not Parabrahman, Brahma, the creator. So, Brahmi means the Shakti of Brahma, that is Saraswati, who is responsible for creation. Also, she is responsible for speech. Saraswati is the Devi of speech. So, that is coming again. Bhasha Rupa, it comes later. But here it is indirectly mentioned as Brahmi. Brahmananda, that means one who is experiencing the Ananda of Brahman, because Brahman is the Swarupa of Sati, Chiti and Ananda. This we have seen so many times. So, one who is always experiencing without a break, continuously, who is experiencing that Ananda is Brahmananda. Even when she takes a form, that is what we have to remember. Because when you say Brahmananda, okay, when she is in the form of Nirguna, Nirakara, she is of the form of Ananda. But when she takes a form with gunas and with akaras, does she have the same level of Ananda? Yes. This is to emphasize that aspect that Brahmananda is mentioned here, because here the whole stotra is about a form only, isn't it? Lalita Parameshwari. So even in that form, she is a Brahmananda only. Balipriya. Here the commentator gives a very interesting explanation as the first meaning. He says, one who is likes, one who is fond of strong people. That's the meaning, isn't it? Balipriya. One who is fond of people with bala. Now, what is this balam? Balam is not physical or strength of weapons. It is the strength, the mental strength of overcoming avidya. Those who are strong enough to overcome avidya, great stages, she is fond of them. Balipriya, that is the meaning of that. Second meaning, not so important, is one who is fond of balis which are offered during puja. Ashtamurtiraja Jaitri Lokayatra Vidhayini Ekakinī Bhūmarupa Nidvaita Dvaita Varjita Annada Vasudha Vruddha Brahmatmaikyasvarupini Brihati Brahmani Brahmi Brahmananda Balipriya.
भाषा रूपा मृगसेना भावा भाव विवर्जिता सुखाराध्या शुभकरी शोभना सुलभा गतिः राजराजेश्वरी राज्यदायिनी राज्यवल्लभा राजत्कृपा राजपीठ निवेशित निजाश्रिता.
Bhasha Rupa, whatever languages which we come across, lakhs and crores of languages, all of them are forms of Devi only, because it is the language which enables us to communicate with each other, also to communicate with Devi. Isn't it? This LALITHA Sahasranama Stotra is constructed in one of the languages, that is Sanskritam, isn't it? So Bhasha Rupa. Brihatsena. Brihatsena means one who is having a very huge army. Brihat Sena. Well, it can be interpreted as whatever army she has been having during her war with Bhandasura or any other Asuras. The other day we saw the story of Sudarshana. Then she came alone, Devi came alone, and then she manifested the whole range of army suddenly. So that is Brihatsena. You can also mention it as, see, one of the names of Subramanya is Mahasenaha. One of the names of Subramanya is Mahasena. What is that? There the meaning has been given. Meaning has been given not by any ordinary commentator. Meaning has been given by Seva himself to Parvati. Seva himself explains various namas of Subramanya to Parvati. There is a separate chapter in Swanda Purana. There, how he interprets Mahasena. He is not interpreted as ordinary army which he is commanding. He is the commander of the Deva army, but that is not the reference there. Because that is another name called Senani. There he says that meaning applies there. Then if there is a Senani, then what is this Mahasena again? So Mahasena, he says, is all the created jivas, all the creation is his Sena. So he has got the hugest, the biggest Sena. That is why he is Mahasena. So same thing applies here, Brihat Sena. Bhava Bhava Vivarjita. Bhava Abhava Vivarjita. Free from existence and non-existence. Free from existence and non-existence. It is again another Vedantic concept. If you say something exists, it is bound by time and space. If it is existing at every place, it is existing at every time, there is only one existing, isn't it? There cannot be a second one. That's what we have been saying. If you consider two objects, then only you can say one is existing, another object is also existing. Then the second object can disappear, then there may be only one. Or the first object can disappear, then there will be only one, which is the second one. That is what is happening. The created objects in the universe. Crores of objects keep appearing, keep disappearing. That is, they are governed by this bhava and abhava concept. That is, coming into being and disappearing. So this coming into being and disappearing does not apply to her, obviously. So, bhava, abhava, vivarjita. That means there was never a time when she was not there. There will never be a time when she is not there. There was never a place when she was not there. There will never be a place when she will not be there. In fact, the same thing is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita also in a very beautiful way. Sukharadhya, Sukha Aradhya, one who can be easily worshipped comfortably. That means this is mentioned in many shastras connected with Devi Stotras, that you don't have to perform arduous yajnas, arduous, difficult pujas, running into so many hours with so many materials, difficult to procure materials, etc., etc. You don't have to do all that. Simply sit down and chant her names. That is equivalent to doing all those rigorous pujas and yajnas. This is mentioned in many stotras. That is what is referred to here. Sukhara, yeah, that means you don't have to exert yourself for this. Then Shubhakari, one who brings auspiciousness to her devotees. That means whatever we consider as auspicious, whatever is considered as good for us, free from any evil effects, all those are given to us by Devi only, including those which will not result in any sin. That means we may desire something, it may appear good for us, but it may be sinful for us to continue on that path. So she will not give that. That is Shubhakari. Shubha in that sense. Shobhana Sulabhagatihi. This is one word according to Bhaskar Raya. There may be other commentators who may split it into two. As we have seen before, some of the names are lending themselves to different ways of splitting. So we follow Bhaskar Raya. Shobhana Sulabhagatihi. Gati means destination. Gati means several things. In Sanskritam we have seen before. Gati also means the path, the way we travel. That is Gati. And the final destination is also Gati. We say normally, so and so has passed away yesterday. He has attained Sadgati. We say, what is that? Sadgati, good destination. He has reached Devi's feet. That is good destination. So, Shobhana Sulabhagatihi. Sulabhagatihi, destination which can be easily reached. Just now we saw, isn't it? Sukharadhya. So if you do Sukharadhana, you can reach her without much difficulty, without much effort. This is an assurance for people like us. Sulabhagatihi. What is Shobhana? Shobhana means something beautiful, something excellent, something remarkably brilliant. That is Shobhana. So that kind of brilliance, that kind of excellence, that kind of beauty is associated with that destination, Devi. So that is an attraction for us to move on that path. We are not moving to some dull object. We are moving towards a very interesting, very excellent, very beautiful object. That is moksha. That moksha is so beautiful because it is free from all the ills that we are suffering from today in the samsara. That is what Shastra is repeatedly saying. So when we talk about moksha, that is Shobhana and that is also Sulabha. So Shobhana, Sulabhagati refers to moksha, refers to Devi. Then Raja Rajeshwari. Ishwari of Rajarajas, Ishwari of emperors, not ordinary kings. Rajarajeshwari. That means to emphasize that there is no one above her, including Brahma, Vishnu, Seva. Incidentally, Kubera is known as Rajaraja, so you can say she is the Ishwari of Kubera. That is not a very important meaning. Rajyadayini, giver of kingdom. Now, from this Rajarajeshwari, some more names are connected with kings. A group of names connected with royalty. Rajyadayini, one who gives kingdom to those who desire. Now we saw the other day the Prince Sudarshan in the lineage of Rama, a royal prince who was wandering in the forest, was picked up by Devi and then awarded the kingdom and she was made the king of Ayodhya. So that is Rajyadayini. That has happened in many other cases also. including all these Devi Mahatma stories, what are they? They are all restoring the kingdom to Devendra, isn't it? The kingdom which was taken away by Asuras was restored to Devendra. So that is also Rajyadayini. Of course, in the highest sense, if you take Rajya as Swarajya, self-rule. What is self-rule? That is moksha. Self-rule is moksha. So, Mokshadayini. Rajya Vallabha, one who is fond of, one who likes kingdom. Means what? One who likes good kings. That is the meaning. One who likes kingdom means good kingdom. Flourishing, prosperous kingdom. She likes that. Flourishing, prosperous kingdom, like Ramarajya. How this Ramarajya, etc., came into being? Because of the king. Because the king was good. There are many other kings in even Rama's own lineage who are all noted for being noble kings. So it refers to that kind of kingdom. Plus, the commentator goes further detail. He says, if you take Devendra, the Ashtadhi Palakas, or kings in their own right, they're all having a residence in Sripuram. Between the 13th and 14th Prakaras, they have their residence. It's mentioned in Devi Srinagar description. So there, they're all worshipping Devi, and naturally that is part of Sripuram, and that is Rajya Vallabha. So she likes all that. Rajat Kripa. Rajat means shining. She is shining with Kripa. She is shining with compassion. Rajapitha Niveshita Nijashrita. That is one name. This is similar to Rajyadayini. Rajyadayini is a general one. It included Vaikuntham, it includes Kailasam, it includes Sripuram, it includes Moksham, it includes everything. Rajyadayini. Here, Rajapitha Niveshita Nijashrita can also be interpreted that way, but more pertinently, it can mean only Rajapitha, the seat of a king. The seat of a king is being conferred on those who take refuge in her. Nija Ashrita, one who takes Ashraya in Devi, is rewarded with kingdom. Rajapitha Niveshita. Niveshita means giving. So, just now we referred to that Sudarshan story. Similarly, there is another reference to a Vidyadhara. Vidyadharas are a group of devas. He also got a position of an emperor because of Devi's grace. This is mentioned in some Puranas. So, in fact, there are many like this. Bhasha Rupa Brihatsena Bhava Bhava Vivarjita Sukharadhya Shubhakari Shodhana Surabhagatihi Raja Rajeshwari Rajya Dayani Rajya Vallabha Rajat Kripa Rajapitha Niveshita Nijashrita. It's not Nijashritaha, Nijashrita only. There is no Visarga at the end. There is mistaken typing. Next.
राज्यलक्ष्मी कोशनाथ चतुरंग भलेश्वरी साम्राज्यदायिनी सत्यसंधा सागर मेखला दीक्षिता दैत्यशमनी सर्वलोकवशंकरी सर्वार्थदात्री सावित्री सच्चिदानंद रूपिणी.
Rajya Lakshmi. Every creation is associated with Lakshmi, because without Lakshmi, nothing can progress. Without resources, how can anything progress? So, if your household has to be prosperous, has to progress, advance, then there has to be a Griha Lakshmi, the housewife. Similarly, if the kingdom has to prosper, there has to be a Rajya Lakshmi, that is this Rajya Lakshmi. Similarly, Vaikuntha Lakshmi, Swarga Lakshmi, all these Lakshmis are mentioned in Shastras. Now, these Lakshmis are various forms of that Mahalakshmi who graces with resources, appropriate resources. So the wealth of the kingdom is personified as Rajya Lakshmi because it is her grace, Devi's grace that you have got this. Koshanatha, this is again another extension of Rajya Lakshmi. Kosha means the treasury, one who is supervising, one who is the lord of the treasury. Well, in an indirect reference, you can also take as kosha, the five koshas of the body, Annamaya kosha, etc. Koshanatha. There is a secondary meaning. Chaturanga Baleshwari. Chaturanga Bala is the fourfold army. In olden days, there used to be Ratha, Gaja, Turaga, Padati. The chariot, the elephant, the horse, and the infantry. Now, these four were the arms of the army, four wings of the army. She is the Ishwari of Chaturanga Baleshwari, because you can see in any description of any battle which she has fought, all the Chaturanga Bala comes for detailed narration. Samrajyadayini, one who gives kingdom to the devotees. Not the ordinary kingdom, not kingship. This is emperor. Samrajya. Samrat is the emperor. So she gives a great empire to those devotees who ask and who deserve. Satyasandha. Satyasandha has got two meanings according to the commentator. Sandha means one who is attached. Sandhanam is attachment. One who is attached to Satya, one who is wedded to Satya. She will never deviate from Satya, from truth. That is, in fact, that is the meaning we also understand normally when we refer to somebody, he is a Satyasandha. Means what? He is wedded to truth. He will not deviate from truth. So that meaning is applicable here. Plus, another meaning is, whatever promises she gives to the devotee, she never deviates from that. And for example, if she promises something to somebody, we have seen in Puranas, all those promises are kept. So, Satyasandha. Sagara Mekhala is again a description connected with kingdom. Satyasandha also, in various royal activities, this comes for frequent reference, isn't it? Satyasandha. Because it is the king who is wedded to truth, so the praja is also wedded to truth, and so on. So similarly, when Devi is wedded to truth, all the devotees will also be wedded to truth. So Satyasandha has got that kind of interpretation. Sagara Mekhala. Sagara Mekhala actually means the earth. Mekhala is the waistband, Kanchi, Odhyana, and the earth which is having oceans as the waistband, Sagara Mekhala. This is a poetic way of describing the earth. That is, she is in the form of the earth, she is in the form of Bhumi. Dikshita. Dikshita means one who gives us Diksha, one who gives us Jnana. Diksha means Jnana. Diksha is also used as initiating somebody into a particular mantra or etc. etc. That is also Jnana only. That is also a certain attainment through that mantra. Through that mantra, by chanting that mantra, you are going to attain a certain thing. That is, you are being initiated into that. That is Diksha. Now, this Diksha is mentioned in Devi, Bhagavatam, and even in other Puranas. There is a specific meaning for the word Diksha. That is, Di and Sha. Di means something giving. What is she giving? She is giving Jnana. Sha means what? Sha means removing, destroying. What is she doing? Removing and destroying? She is removing the sin, Papa. Shishyebhyo jnanadanena papam shapayati tiva diyate kripaya shishye shiyate papa samshayaha. This is a beautiful way of saying what is Diksha. So Dikshita, one who is known for giving Diksha. Daityatamani, one who destroys Asura, Daitya, Bandasura and other people. Sarvaloka Vashankari, one who keeps under her sway, under her influence, all the universe. Sarvarthadatri, one who gives all the Purushartha. Sarva Arthadatri. Artha normally means wealth. It is one of the four Purushartha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. But Artha here refers to all the four together. All they are also known as Purushartha. Purushartha means what? Something for which a Purusha should aim. Purusha means human being. Humans should aim at these four goals. That is Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. And all of them are being given with great compassion by Sarvarthadatri. Savitri. Savitri means one who creates. She is the creator of all this universe. So she is Savitri. Also, she is the creator of all mantras. We have seen before when we saw Janani. Janani does not mean only the creator of the universe, creator also of mantras, because it is mantras which are responsible for creation of the universe. It is mantras which are responsible for sustenance. It is mantras which are responsible for the final dissolution also. So everything is centered over mantra. So she is the one who is the generator of all the Vedas, all the mantras, all the universe. So she is Savitri. Of course, if you take Savita as Surya, Savitri will be the power of the Surya, Shakti of Surya, one who gives Shakti to Surya, Savitri. Sachidananda Rupini. Well, this doesn't need any explanation. We have been saying it thousands of times. Sati Chiti Ananda Rupini. One who is existing at all times, at all places. One who is of the form of jnana, one who is of the form of consciousness. If we consider ourselves as conscious people, that consciousness is given by Devi. Ananda. Whatever we experience as happiness is only a small fraction of that huge happiness, which is Devi, Sachidananda Rupini. Rajya Lakshmi Koshanatha Chaturanga Baleshwari Samrajyadayini Satya Sandha Sagara Mekhala Dikshita Daitya Kamani Sarvaloka Vashankari Sarvarthadatri Savitri Sachidananda Rupini.
Deshakala Parichinna Sarvamohini Saraswati Shastramayi Guhamba Guhyarupini Sarvopadhimi Nirmukta Sada Shivapati Brata Sampradayeshwari Sadhi Guru Mandala Rupini.
Deshakala Aparichinna. That is one who is not divided. Parichinna is division. One who is not divided by time and space. We have seen it before. Deshakala Parichinna. That is, time and space do not divide her. They divide only us, Jiva. If you are in one place, you are not in another place. If you are in one time, you are not in another time. But that doesn't apply to her. Sarvaga. This is the same thing is mentioned in a positive way. There it was mentioned in a negative way. Aparichinna, not divided. Now here it says, if she is not divided by space, that means she is present everywhere, isn't it? So the doubt may arise. Yes, she is present everywhere. Sarvaga. She is Sarvavyapini, all pervading. She is present everywhere. Sarva Mohini, that means she subjects everyone, including Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, to moha, delusion. Jnaninaamapi chetamsi devi bhagavati hita balad akrishya mohaya mahamaya prayachati balad akrishya mohaya. By force, you are being led towards moha, towards delusion. That is Sarva Mohini. Now, this may look like saying that she is subjecting us delusion, so she is not allowing us to gain jnana. She is not doing that. We are only subjecting ourselves to delusion, and delusion is something which is there because of her. Because there is nothing which is not a manifestation of her. That's the basic concept. So once we understand that, moha is also a basic concept. But nobody is telling us to be subjecting ourselves to moha, isn't it? We can always be, jnanis are there. So we can always free ourselves from moha. But she is the one who is giving this moha also. Even Bhagavan says in Gita, Mama Maya Duratyaya, my Maya is difficult to cross. That is the same. Now, Sarva Mohini has also been interpreted as Mohini form which Vishnu took on a few occasions. It's also Sarva Mohini, because if you, as Mohini, Vishnu was able to delude even very intelligent people, very intelligent asuras, very intelligent Rishipatnis, Rishis, etc. Saraswati, the form of Brahmapatni, the form of all knowledge, the form of all speech, the form of all music, etc., etc. That is all jnana, that she is of that form, Saraswati. Now, he is also saying, commentator saying that Saraswati resides in the tongue of Brahma. So similarly, Saraswati resides in the tongue of all of us, in the tongue of all jivas. So she is responsible for our speech. Shastramayi. Now, one who is of the form of Shastras. One who, Shastra here means everything. Vedas, Shastras, etc. Everything. All of them come under Shastra. Shastra Rupini. She is of the very form of those Vedas and Shastras. It's not saying that they have been created by Devi for our welfare. It's not saying that. She is of the very form of those Vedas and Shastras because they are her expression, her own expression. So her own expression for helping us to attain her, for helping us to attain her. Vedas have been created, Shastras have been created, etc. In fact, the commentator gives a beautiful, interesting reference here. He says, in normal logic, Tarka Shastra, there are three pramanas: Pratyaksha, Anumana, and Shabda. The one you see for yourself, that is Pratyaksha. Anumana, that what you guess. If there is smoke, there must be fire. This is a standard example. And Shabda, that is the Veda. Veda Pramana, Veda Shastra. That, in fact, has got a higher significance than the first two, because first two are subjective. You may see, I may not see. You may have a certain guess, I may not agree with that guess, Anumana. But you cannot say, I don't agree with that Vedic stipulation, because that is common to everyone. So that is has got the highest reach. So that highest reach is Shastramayi, Guhamba, the mother of Guha, the mother of Subramanya. Why he is called Guha? Because he is the one who is resident in the heart cave of all jivas, and she is Guha's mother, and she is herself described as Guhya in another place, that is resident of the heart cave. Because Subramanya and Subramania's mother are not two different people. We must understand that. If you go to the highest concept, there is only one. We have been seeing again and again, Ekakini. So Subramanya is no different from her. So she is herself resident in that Guha. Guhya Rupini. Guhya Rupini of the form of Guhya. Guhya is Rahasya, something secret. She is of the form of the secret. What secret? the highest secret. That is why we are not able to decipher that secret. The highest secret, which is there in all of us, it's the hot cake, but we are not able to attain that. We are not able to understand that. So she is Guhya Rupini, the form of the highest secret. Even the mantras, some of the mantras are like the Panchadashakshara mantra are known as Guhya mantra, secret mantra, because you have to be initiated only by a guru. Sarvopadhi minirmukta, free from all upadhis. Upadhi means restriction, limitation, like time, time, space, object. These are normally three limitations given: time, space, and object. Present in a particular time, not present in a particular time. Present in a place, not present in a particular. Present in a particular object, not present in a particular object. So this kind of limitation. She is free from those limitations, upadhi. In fact, one of the biggest upadhis is ignorance, avidya. Now she is free from that. Sarvopadhi vinirmukta. Sada Shiva Pativrata. One who is Pativrata towards Sadashiva. She is the consort of Sadashiva. That is, she herself divided, Parabrahma is only one, she herself divided into Shiva and Shakti, and Shakti is always Pativrata to Shiva. This has been mentioned in Saundarya Lahari, Tavatanka Mahima, etc. etc. Now, the Sadashiva Pativrata is for explaining to us that Pativrata requirement for women is the highest concept demonstrated by Devi herself. This is a demonstration. How she is Pativrata to Sadashiva. So all women have to be Pativratas, and Patis have to be similarly equal to, dedicated to their wives. That is implied. Sadashiva Pativrata. Sampradayeshwari. That means who is the Ishwari of Sampradaya. Sampradaya is something which is coming by tradition. Something which is coming by tradition is known as Sampradaya. Sam means which has been well laid out. Pradaya means given, properly given to us by a Guru Parampara or a Kula Parampara. In our family, this is our practice. This is what our Guru Parampara has taught us, that kind of thing. So, Sampradaya Ishwari, because that is how the mind is being controlled and cultivated. For cultivating the mind, for controlling the mind, Sampradaya is a great force. That is why now our Seva has started various Sampradaya schools, which you might have seen, starting from Tirupati and various other places, including the latest in Thiruvanekkaval in Tamil Nadu. So, what is being taught in those Sampradaya schools? Girls are being taught various arts, etc., which are actually traditional arts, which are given to us through family background, which all of us should know through our own family resources. But since in modern days, families are not doing that job, this job is being done by the schools. Sampradayeshwari. Sadhvi. Sadhvi normally should mean what? Sadhvi means a virtuous lady. Now, that is not the meaning here, according to the commentator. We have to be very clear. Because Sadhvi comes again, another thing. So, whenever the name comes again, he gives different meaning. He splits the word in different forms. That is the greatness of the commentator. Sadhu and E. Sadhu and E. He means there are two names. There are two names within this one word. Sadhu is the first name, E is the second name. Now, Sadhu is not Pullinga or Strilinga, because if it is Strilinga, it becomes Sadhvi. If it is Pullinga, it will become Sadhu. It is Sadhu means Napumsakalinga. That is the neutral gender. That means it is something which is appropriate to dharma and dharmi concept, something which is connecting to Sampradayeshwari. In Sampradayeshwari, there is a concept of dharma and dharmi, that is Shiva and Shakti. Dharmi is Shiva, dharma is Shakti. That because all activities happen because of the power that somebody holds, and there is a person who holds that power. There is a person and there is a power. Dharma and dharmi is that. Dharma is the power, dharmi is the holder of that power. So if you see the universe, the way the rhythm of the universe is built, there is a propriety, there is a way. That way is sadhu. That is, one is dependent on the other. Dharma is dependent on dharmi, dharmi is dependent on dharma. So each is interdependent, and that is sadhu. Now, E is what we have seen as Kamakala Akshara, the highest in one single Bijakshara, the highest, the most secretive of Bijakshara, E. We have seen it before, Kamakala Akshara. This is also mentioned in Saundarya Lahari and Devi Bhujangam. We saw about it in earlier references. That is, her form, Devi's form, is mentioned as one single Bijakshara, which describes her form, starting from forehead, going downwards. Now, that is called Kamakala, and that is what is being referred by this letter E. Actually, it is Eem in Kamakala. Here it is referred as E. Guru Mandala Rupini, one who is of the form of the Gurus who have adorned our Guru Pitha in the tradition. The traditional Guru Parampara is Guru Mandala. So she is, if we take our own Kamakoti Guru Parampara, now Devi is of the form of all the Gurus without any exception, right from Adi Shankara to the present Guru. So similarly, any such Guru Parampara is referred to by this, starting from Sadashiva Samarambham, starting from Shiva, right up to the latest Guru. So Guru Mandala Rupini, that is she is of the form of the various Gurus. What is Guru doing? Guru is helping us advance in the spiritual path. Guru is destroyer of the ignorance. That's what we saw. Guru. So all the Gurus have the same power to destroy our ignorance. So that is Guru Mandala Rupini. Deshakala Parikshana Sarvaga Sarvamohini Saraswati Shastramayi Guhamba Guhyarupini Sarvopadhimi Nirmukta Sada Shivapativrata Sampradayeshwari Sadhri Guru Mandala Rupini. I think we stop now. Time is up. Any questions?
Those who have questions, please unmute yourself, turn on your video and ask questions. Any questions, anybody? Any questions? No questions.
Okay. Because today we made
one question, Anvesh Dattaram.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
Swami, you mentioned Guhyarupini is the name for the Amba, because she holds the Guhya mantra, which is Panchadashakshari. So one question I had, the Sarva Purtikari mantra is beholds greatest or the Panchadashakshari?
Question is not clear. What is your question?
The question is, the Panchadashakshari mantra is at the top. You would consider the greatest, or the Sarva Purtikari mantra, Sarva Purtikari Stotra will be considered the highest.
What is the question?
So Panchadashakshari mantra, which is Guhyarupini, you mentioned, right? Which is you said which is Panchadashakshari mantra, which is considered as highest, or it is the Sarva Purtikari or Trishati Stotra is considered as highest. That is
what is the second one? One is Panchadashakshari. What is the second one?
Trishati.
Trishati.
Yeah.
No. Trishati is only an expansion of Panchadashakshari. No? It is not a separate, it doesn't have separate existence. Trishati only an expansion of the 15 aksharas or each is given 20 names, so that is how you get 300 names. But in the Shakta literature, Kamakala is supposed to be the highest. Shodashakshari is higher than Panchadashakshari. But let us not get into what is high and what is low. I mean, there is nothing like comparing one with the other. That is only for motivating us to go higher and higher. It's only for that purpose. It's not really because there's only one. There's only one. So if that one can be reached by any path, that path is good enough for us. In fact, just now we saw Sukharadhya. So there is no need for us to get into this kind of thing. Okay. So we close for the day and we meet again next Saturday, 7 p.m. Wishing you all the best. Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Sri Jagadambika Jai Jaya Jaya